If I was dumb enough to send my kid in, it's no different than a baby commercial for
Can you
diapers.
answer my question? Do you think that you have the right to consent to 65-year-old men looking at your son while he's naked?
I wouldn't allow it.
Do you think
That's
that
my
you have the
responsibility as a
right?
father.
Do you think that you have the right to allow it? Do you think if you did allow it, that you would be violating the consent of your child?
They have no choice in the matter whatsoever. It's my decision as the parent. And I wouldn't put my kid in that situation. That's why I think pageants are weird in the first place. I would never.
Amen. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I think that you don't deserve to have any custodial rights over your child. So, for those watching, their handle is goatman91096. Um, it's gonna be their handle. If there happens to be anybody in here that's good at like has like facial recognition software,
Oh, you can
or
find
might
me.
be
It's
able.
fine. Nothing I said was wrong.
Okay,
I just said that the kid doesn't get to make the decision.
what's your
I
name?
would never put them in that situation.
Okay, what's your name?
And why are you trying to dox people, dude? That's weird.
Because I want to find who you are so I could call CPS and have them take your child away from you.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you would like to try to do that.
Yes, I would. So,
They would never even do it. That's the best part.
okay, what's your
Because
name?
I would take the part, and I have a witness sitting here who's heard me say I would never put my child in that
Okay.
situation.
So what's your name?
So don't worry, move the goalpost too, by the way.
So you said that you think that parents have every right to exploit and traffic their children.
No, that's not what I said.
So I'm not going to debate it with you. That is what you said. So I just putting this out there for anybody. Feel free to take his profile picture. Maybe you could go on to like TikTok.com for.
So let's get into this whole controversy with Dean Withers. Previously to seeing this viral outbreak of him calling for the identity reveal of a guy that he got in a debate with on a TikTok live, and then also calling for his audience to call CPS because he claimed that off of the conversation they had, he didn't believe that they had custodial rights to their children. I mean, so for one, that's just an absolute insane thing for a public figure to do. I mean, I looked into it. The guy's pretty famous. I mean, he's got like I think close to 4 million followers on TikTok, and he's a very well-known, very popular, youthful political commentator and debater figure. So, but with this clip, I mean, for one, this is absolute insanity. I mean, to command an audience, and especially a large audience, to call CPS and try to get a child removed from a house based off of a conversation that you had. And also, for one, he's framing the question a little bit weird. The question is, do you believe you have the right to consent to a child being perved on by a 65-year-old man? And so, for some context, because I'm going to get into like the other side of this argument they were having as well. But for context, he was talking about Trump. I think Trump's quotes on when he was saying he used to go into the dressing rooms for the beauty pageants that he was in charge of back in the day. But the funniest thing about this is, and what's so hilarious is that, I mean, this guy just makes a living off of speaking with absolute morons. I mean, some of these Donald Trump, ultra right MAGA supporters, and I would consider myself right leaning just because that's what kind of nature commands for myself to be right leaning. Because when you look at most left leaning people, especially with left leaning men, they're like these soft, like soy boy femboys that really don't contribute anything to society. And Dean doesn't contribute anything to society either. Like, I think it's just so ironic and so amusing how like people can just really not do anything other than grift and stir up controversy, and they can become millionaires. So hey, more power to them. That's a hustle for them. But I mean, if you look at the grand scheme of things, is Dean Withers really going to, like, if the power went out of your house, are you going to call Dean Withers? No. So I mean, he's making a living off of controversy. And when we get into this clip, because at the same time, yes, it's extremely that's terrible. Honestly, I feel like that should be a punishable, like with a prison sentence or jail time or some sort of legal punishment for uh trying to weaponize an audience and get CPS called on and get a child removed from its own parent's house just based off of a conversation. And the dad's not like he's advocating for the child to be perved on by men or anything like that. He's saying he wouldn't allow it. Their child would never be in that situation. So I don't really know what the deal is. But these people did not make it any better for themselves. Because let's get in this next clip. Because I mean, if you see these people, they can barely string together a sentence, and they just sound like the most backwoods bumpkin MAGA supporters ever. Let's get into it.
The changing rooms of these naked teens. And what was your first response to that?
Did the parents give consent? Did they allow it?
Goatman, precisely. I don't think that a parent can allow for their underage teen to be perved on.
You don't think, or that's the law? There's a difference. There's a huge difference. What's the law?
Wait, are you... So no, that's actually not the law. It is...
What is the law, Dean? What is the age of consent? What is the law?
We're talking about teenagers, under 18 here.
Right, and they don't have the legal authority to make that consent. So whose responsibility is it then? Who is it? Is it God? It's not God. Who is it?
So the child can't consent to sex, and the parent can't consent to the child having sex.
So where does the consent fall?
Because nobody.
When you go to the doctor's office, when kids go on field trips, who's signing the papers? Because it's not the child. From my research, statements from the girl specifically that he went and saw it in the changing room said that it was more transactional than anything. If anything, because these girls are competing against each other, they went to Donald Trump when he was back there to get some sort of not promotion, but like to get some sort of like feedback and transactional advice from the guy because he's a businessman. This is yes, I can, because Trump is a businessman. He has a huge persona, publicly business essential. The girls were trying to get his input and get him to like promote or like give them advice on how to.
They're children. They were naked. They can't consent to that.
Dean,
how do you know they was naked, Dean?
Hold on.
How
do you know they wasn't sitting in a pair of
Can I just say something? Hold on. Like, Dean, are you going to listen?
Yeah, so, I mean, these people he's talking to, I mean, they're not the smartest people, it seems like, either. And so I kind of, after doing some research into it, I mean, this is what this guy does. I think he does, like, daily one liberal versus 100 MAGA supporter debates, and these people are they just sound so stupid. And so he's kind of like a gotcha style journalist or podcaster or whatever he is. And, hey, he basically is like, look, these are the idiots that support Donald Trump or whatever. And I get it. These people are not smart at all. Oh my gosh, listening to that lady try to like formulate and put together a thought is just insane to me. But what's just unacceptable on his behalf was the whole doxing, trying to call CPS. I mean, I don't think that's ever acceptable to try and weaponize the internet, especially when you're a public figure with a large following such as him, because those people, I don't get the vibe that they were bad parents. And off the dad's conversation, he never was saying that he was going to allow his child to be put into a room naked with an older man. He was saying he wouldn't allow it, and so the reaction is completely unnecessary. And the calling for his audience to call CPS is that's an insane thing to do. But I don't know. I mean, really what this sums up to is that like the internet, TikTok, it's all just a bunch of idiots. And if you get on TikTok and you're like trying to find like political viewpoints and everything like that, it's all just a waste of time and it's all unnecessary and it's all just idiotic, because at the end of the day, like none of this is actually going to actually move forward and make anything better for society, because we can talk about, legal immigration. We can, virtue signal and talk about trans rights or gay rights or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, you know what really matters is blue collar manual labor, right? Like the other day, the power went out of my house and I started researching, although I'm a truck driver now, I started researching electrician jobs, because I was like, man, how cool would it to be actually like able to keep the electricity, like the power on, the air conditioning on, like for the houses and homes of people. That's a very useful skill, things like that. And so we get into these types of debates and these personalities, and we see all the nonsense on the internet, and it just seems like we're just getting stupider, and the dominating narrative is never anything that's actually productive or conducive to the preservation of society and like our infrastructure and the things that are actually going to keep everything moving, so but again, that's it for today's episode. I thought this was just kind of amusing, this whole scenario. So anyway, have a great day.